In this video, we'll start to model the object and we will just make the basic shapes. So really something simple, just the basic shapes, and add here the reference image. So the first thing we'll do here, we will just go into the source files and you will find there the basic shapes modeling part 1, and inside this you will find here the reference that we will use as an image. So to add an image into Blender, you can go into Shift A and add an image and go there, but you can just click and drag into the 3D view and it will give you an image directly like that. Okay, so it will be this one that we will use. What we would like to do is to draw our shape along this shape here, along this axis. Okay, so because we would like an X symmetry, so to be sure to have the shape right, I will just make SY here into my object in edit mode and SZ to have enough space to model my my revolve, and make a SX as well to make a kind of shape like that. Okay, I will go into orthographic mode, go back into my object there and select my object reference there, and I will make a RG Alt R to remove any rotation and any localization into the reference image. Then I will just make an RX 90 degrees and a RZ 90 degrees as well. So now my image is here inside. Okay. And what I would like, I don't want to have my image in the center of my view here, of my scene, because sometimes it will disturb me. I can make a bad selection or something like that. What I like to work with is to make something like that. So we will make a GX, and like this, as we are here in orthographic view, and that will not have the perspective deformation. If we go into wireframe and go into side view, we will have the proper shape to work with, and it will not disturb us during the process of creation there. Okay, so it's important to put it into the right place first. What we will do too, we will just make and organize our scene well with the collection there. So what I will do for the empty, this empty, I would like it into another collection. So with M, I go into a new collection, and I will just create this collection and call it reference, and click on OK. Okay, and you will have your image into your reference collection. This one will be the revolve. Let's go there. Okay, and I will rename objects after their inside. Maybe we can put the reference and click and drag on top like that. And what we would like to, we don't want our reference to be selected. Now it's here. I would like to lock it, and that it will not move it, and it's impossible, it will be impossible to select it. So what I will do for that, I will just go there and enable here the render, the view select, and selection here. So I don't want my reference to can be selected, and I don't want my reference to be in rendering, so I will just remove the rendering here. And now I just, if it disturbs me during the process of creation, I can just hide there, but I cannot select it and move it, and like this I'm sure that it will stay there. Okay, so good. Now we go into the side view and start to model the shape, really the basic shapes. So basically we'll have 4 shapes. We'll call this the body, so it will include the stock and the body and the grip of the revolve. We'll have the cannon there. Here we will have the charger, and here we'll have the viewfinder. So first of all, we'll just draw these basic shapes with basic shapes. Okay, so what I will do, I will select my object there in edit mode and scale it that it will fit as much as possible the body of the river. Okay, something wrong there. I'm inside view. Okay, and I will go and start to draw and to make lines to build the shape of my object here. Okay, so what I would like to do with Ctrl Shift X, okay, I will just use the line here and I will remove some geometry starting around here. Okay, it's from this point, and I will start to model and remove some of the material that I have. Okay, so this after it's part of the viewfinder, so I will not touch it too much. Maybe I will go until there, go there, go up again for this part. Maybe it's not mandatory to follow exactly the model that we have, you know. We can just imagine how it will be as much as possible. Maybe this line I will cut it a little like that to not follow exactly, and just to have some interesting shapes I will continue and draw my design like that. Okay, good. So now I did make enough points on the top. I will come back until here, and just with the spacebar I will remove all the top like that. I will make a line just like this to remove this part as well, and I will continue to make my body here just with the same tool, the same view. I will cut until here, maybe, to make it a little more interesting, let's say. So sometimes, for example, here, I will try to follow, and here I will cut directly a flat surface, go until there. Okay, what I would like to, it's to have here a quite decent grip, because here we don't have a decent grip on this model. So to do that, I will just go there, draw a flat here face, and what I would like to do is to continue the handle, continue the grip until maybe here. Okay, we will see after it may change. I just draw a design like that quickly, nothing crazy, just something that makes maybe the shape a little more interesting. Okay, and let's go for this kind of shape, and we continue until there. So here we have an interesting little shape there. Okay, and here I just follow the basic shape that I have in front of me until I come there. Good, and after I just go back in front of this one, and with the space bar I will remove all of that. So what I have now, if I do escape and with D go back to solid, I will have a shape like this. So it's too thick. I will go into edit mode and make a SX. So why I go into edit mode to make that, you will tell me. Because here, for example, if you go here into your item, I want always to have here a scale at 1, not a scale that will change. If I make this at into object mode, I will make SX, you can see that the scale of the object will change. But if I make here this in edit mode, okay, you can see that the scale will not change. So why it's so important that the scale doesn't change? What I want this value to stay at 1 always, because after we'll use some bevel. So let's create a bevel on this object with the fast curve, and I will go into the bevel object there. Okay, so now we have some bevel into our object, and we can see that it draws a kind of round shape, okay? And if I increase this bevel, the amount of the bevel and the amount of the segment, you can see that it's really a nice curve shape that I have there. But if I scale this into the x-axis again, into object mode, you can see that now my bevel is not exactly the same. It's not a round shape anymore. This shape did change because it did follow the scale of the object, okay? So now it's not round, but it's flatter, and it's really this that I want, this kind of shape that I would like. So to keep this, it's good to keep this amount there at 1, and like that, by doing this into edit mode like this, you can see that it doesn't change, and I still have my round shape in case I need to keep it like that, okay? So I will put it in a proper value, 0.01. It was what we had in the beginning, and that's it for the basic shape of the body. Then after, I will add here, still in side view, okay? I will add here just a few cylinders to have the 3 shapes that we are missing here. We need here the cannon, we need the charger, and we need here the viewfinder. So let's go for that. And here I will add just a basic cylinder. This cylinder is far too big first, and it's a lot of vertices, a little too much. So depending on how you want to model your object, if you really want something low poly, maybe go until 16 or 12 even. But I will stay something around 24 will be okay, to have a decent amount of vertices and have something clean to work with. And now I will go again in edit mode, make a air 90 degrees, okay, the S, until we have the right scale, okay, into the z-axis, and then after you can scale it into the y-axis, so SY, until you have the basic shape of the cannon here, SY, something like that. Okay, good. And then after, we will just not use another, we will just duplicate our object, and into edit mode again, I will go there with G, scale it into the y-axis, and scale it up until I have a decent shape there, okay, somewhere around here, and SY again until I have just really basic shapes. I don't want something, I don't want to enter in details for now, just to put my shapes in place. And it will be the same here with this object. So let's go there, go ahead, and we'll make a Shift D again, right click to keep it here, and then into edit mode I will just go there, scale it into the y-axis, maybe scale it a little, or maybe a little more like that. And this time it will be interesting to keep the rotation of your object like this. You can it will be better, and we would like to keep the center of our object too. So to do that, we will just set origin to geometry, and we will make our rotation like that, okay? So like this, maybe SY a little, and S again, make a proper rotation, and we have our basic shape that is here. Nothing crazy, just to see and to show the basic shapes that we will need, okay? In case you need to move this one, for example, you just go into the normal here. So what is this orientation there? The global, the normal, and how it works basically. And to show you that, I will go there. You can see that here it's the global axis of my scene that will follow. So if I do that, it will follow the axis of my scene. But in that case, I would like to follow the normals of the faces that is available there. So if I select the normal, I will have the possibility to manage that. And like this, it will not disturb us for the modeling process there. Okay, I come back to the global and come back to the original selection tool here. Good. So now we have our objects that are available. I would like just to add another, the two other little shapes that we have here. It will be nothing crazy and quick to do. So what I will do, I will add here a new cube. Okay. And again, I go in edit mode and scale it down with G until I have more or less the shape that I want. I come back into wireframe mode and I will start to draw my shape with Ctrl+Shift+X, and with the line tool, with the line tool that we start to know. First of all, I would like to use the rectangle tool to quick make a shape like that. Okay. And after, we will use the line tool just to draw something simple that will follow around there. Okay, really the basic shape again. Don't try to put too much here. Okay, so what I did here, I did a reboot like that. I keep this one and I can remove that one after. Okay, so what I do, I go into edit mode and make SX to have something that will follow more or less the geometry. And I will duplicate this object there with Shift D, right click, and in edit mode now I will make a GUI to put it around here, and it will allows me to draw something else. Maybe for that one I can come back to a shape like that with GZ and cut it again, because we'll have something a little different. From my remembering, it's a little like this, but I don't want to draw it perfectly now. We will see after. So yeah, basically I will just add some basic shape here just by doing this, something like that. Let's start, let's say, with Ctrl+Shift+X, I will just draw something like that, let's say, first. Okay, and then after, just maybe I'm not sure yet, and it can change after, something like this, let's say. Good. And as you can see now, we have an interesting shape to work with. We will see after if it's really this that we want to keep. Okay, so I will just do escape, come back into solid view, and now we have our objects. Okay, you can rename it as well. It's not mandatory on this workflow, but in case, because you will have a lot of duplication after, in case you want to come back to your models easily. So it can be good, for example, that all your objects first are inside the revolve here collection. So with M, I will put everything inside, and I will select the revolve like this. Everything I will add after will come back to this. And what else? Yeah, you can rename your object as I told. So here, let's call it canon, and everything that will be inside the canon, I will make a Ctrl+C like that, and select my objects and rename my object as well. Okay, so this one is a canon too. This one, for now, let's call it body, because after we'll divide into all the shapes. This one here will be the loader, so let's here put it like that, loader, thank you. and this one will be the viewfinder. Good. So we have all our objects that are organized and ready to continue our model. So in the next video, we'll continue to draw the basic shapes of our model by dividing the body here and to add some start, just to add little details. And after we'll go on details into each part to create little details on each little parts of the refold to have a nice and clean design to render in the end.